today I am making a restock soap for the store. This is my Ocean Aloe Vera soap. I actually call it sea salt and driftwood so that it matches the name of the fragrance that I use. I will be making the soap in 2 batches. The first batch will be the brown ocean bottom, so it will be a small 16-ounce oil batch. The second batch will be the brown and white ocean swirls in this larger 3-pound oil batch. I will also be doing a mica line between the 2 layers and finishing the top with a spoon swirl. Over. Mark. Today I will be using Crafter's Choice Fragrance Oil, Sea Salt, and Driftwood. Its fragrance notes are clean ocean air, salted driftwood, and warm amber dunes. It has 0% vanillin, and I've used this many times before. This is probably my 6th or 7th batch this year, and there is no acceleration or ricing. The colors that I will be using today are from Micas and More, Peacock Blue Mica, and Shimmer Brown Mica. And I will also be using water-soluble titanium dioxide from Crafter's Choice. For my mica line, I will be using 14 karat gold from, I believe it's from the chemistry store. I bought a huge 6-ounce bag of this 3 or 4 years ago when I first started making soap, and I still haven't run out. So this is 14 karat gold mica mixed with bronze mica from Micas and More. So let's make soap. So this is 16 ounces of oil. I have already added the 1 ounce of fragrance oil to this. In my lye water container, I have done a 1-to-1 water to lye ratio premix, and I've added an equal amount of aloe vera juice. I've also added 1 teaspoon of dendritic salt, about ½ a tablespoon of kaolin clay, and I do use about 1 gram of silk peptides per ounce or per pound of oil. So I'm going to stir my lye solution to disperse my clays. And then I will add that to my oils. And then I'm going to stick blend this. And because this is the brown layer, I'm just going to go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of brown mica to this now before I add the lye, before I stick blend the lye in. That way everything gets incorporated really well, and I don't have to worry about if my trace is too thick or not. So now I'm going to stick blend all of this together. And I'm going to stop at a little bit of a heavier trace than normal. So this is going to be a light to medium trace because this layer does need to support having another layer of soap poured over. So I like that layer to stay nice and flat. So I want it to be as thick and heavy as possible without getting a lot of air pockets in it. So we have stick blended until we've reached a light to medium trace. This is probably actually closer to light trace. This fragrance oil does seem to actually decelerate trace a bit. So it does take a lot more stick blending than I normally have to do. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this into my mold, trying to get it as evenly through the mold as possible. This is a 24-inch loaf mold that my husband made for me. and it is lined with freezer paper. Poured and emptied out all of my brown batter into the soap mold. I pounded it on the floor to help level it out and get rid of any air bubbles that may be in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle a mica line. And I like to use a tea strainer. And then I can just tap it in a very light dusting. Doesn't need to be a lot on this particular soap. It's just there for a little bit of glimmer, and because I like Gold Mica. Yeah, why not? So I am going to go ahead and wipe off the edges so that the mica doesn't show up on the sides of the bars. So now I've cleaned up all the edges, and I'm going to go ahead and set it off to the side with a towel over it to help speed up the process of it setting up. Now I'm ready to start my second layer. In this bucket, I have 48 ounces of my master batch oils and 3 ounces of the fragrance oil. In my pitcher here, I have the remainder of my aloe vera juice, my premixed lye solution. I have more kaolin clay, silk peptides, and dendritic salt. Now that I've added my lye solution to my oils, I'm going to go ahead and stick blend this. I'm going to go for somewhere in between light trace and emulsion, because I am going to do an in-the-pot swirl, and I would like to stick blend my colors together. One nice thing is that because this is a slow-moving fragrance oil, I will have plenty of time to get a nice swirl. So I have added my colors to my light traced soap batter. So I have titanium dioxide premixed with water added here, and the Peacock blue added here. I am using about 1.5